But if you're adding to your coaching practice, if that's the kind of thing you want, this is a great plan of action to be able to help your clients and yourself. Because see, if you attend the DreamSculpting professional version of it, you actually do this on yourself throughout the whole program. You are integrating areas. You are choosing your goals. You are creating action plans to get them, to make it happen. You are directly putting into higher self. You are learning how to arrange your environment to support these goals. So with that, is there any question?
We have vision boards, all of us in our house, that we did like a while ago. The kids have them, John has them, and we can like cross off. We always look and we go, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done, you know, it's kind of a visual checklist, but it's kind of like the back of your mind, that goal, but it's just putting it, you know, on something tangible that you can actually see every day.
That's right, you see it every day. It's going to be, see, as my eyes roll around this room, everything in it, in the back of my mind, my unconscious mind is getting representations of my model of the world to match up and say, oh, that means that, that means that. So whatever the meanings I have of that in the back of the mind, when it comes up my representation. Even if I'm not consciously paying attention to it, my eyes are scanning. Everywhere in my house is constantly. I looked at, you know, in the Chinese believe that if you have a big fat Buddha, you know, sitting there, that brings wealth. Now maybe if you're raised that way, the question I have about it, maybe if you're raised that way and you truly believe it, then when you look at that, symbolically, that means to bring wealth. So it kind of symbolically tells them to do it. Now, will it do that for me because I wasn't raised that way? Or will it just make me fat because I see a fat guy over there? Is my question. So what would it mean literally, and what does it mean symbolically to the person looking at it? Do they believe? Now, if they believe that, then it probably will enhance it. If I just say, well, I don't know, they do it, so I do it, maybe it would have the same effect or not. I don't know. But is it inherent in the statue itself, or is it inherent because of the symbolism it is putting in the back of the mind?
The thing that I like here is that it doesn't go, okay, my unconscious and my conscious is working on this. There is a higher self that's helping you, and I think a lot of goal setting is just trying to put in your conscious self what you want, and it just, you run out of gas so fast, and you don't even know if you're going down the wrong road. So I love that thought of actually having like a partner outside of myself. I know it's my higher self, but I think of it as, you know, somebody else, like teamwork, that's going to help this to happen, so I'm not just doing it on my own.
Yeah, no, I like that idea too, that if I know how to get to it. I mean, that's what meditation kind of does. You know, you kind of go into your unconscious and you're achieving higher states of consciousness. And so you're kind of using, the way I look at it, you're using this chord. First you're going maybe into unconscious, and depending on how deep you go, you start getting into higher self, right? So, but even at that, does it align the unconscious in a way that says, hey, this is what we want, clear. It also, I mean, it's helpful to do this. I remember having some negative thoughts I certainly wouldn't want manifested, but my unconscious protected me from it. Like I built, when at my Seattle home, I had built a deck, a carport with a deck on it, right? And my car was underneath that, and on the deck I put a hot tub on top of the deck. So I got in the hot tub, and I was thinking, my thoughts were, I wonder if this deck can hold all this weight. And of course I had images of the thing going over. Now luckily my higher self didn't get wind of that one, because my unconscious was congruent enough about not having it happen. So it said, no, leave the deck where it is. He doesn't really want it to go over. Right, so certainly it's wise to kind of have, but this area we call conscious mind really is what we're conscious of at that moment. Right? Now, as soon as we change focus, what we were paying attention to now goes to unconscious, and what we're now paying attention to is conscious. So we're just bringing bits of the unconscious and what we can be aware of. So really, we make decisions in one context towards our goals, and we could be making another decision against our goals in another context, because at that moment it seems to be logical. So then we're putting in two different versions of, meanings in unconsciously. So now they're in conflict. So, well, as I suppose, even a lot of times what we do it is through other people. Right? We say, well, this is really good for me. But then when it comes from somebody else, also we're highly judgmental of them. But I believe we have to live up to each of the judgments we make about ourselves or others, because our unconscious is not going to let us off the hook. You know, if it's good for them, it's good for us. So this part of the process I bring up because it's very important to get all those things out, all those beliefs out there, and get them aligned. Right? So we're not this way one moment, this next. We are congruent about it. And then one clear message to this very powerful part that supposedly can alter reality if necessary to make it happen.
The mind is a powerful thing.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, prayers are always answered.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be what we consciously think of the prayer at the time, but it's what our unconscious mind believes the prayer is at the time. So while we may be consciously thinking one thing, our unconscious says, no, that's not really how we believe because of blah, 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 and then clear message. Our powers aren't getting a good, clear message. And like I said, if there's emotional issues, like some people are plagued by trauma in the back of their mind. Another thing we got to do is remove that stuff, right? Because we don't want that stuff constantly being created. If they're constantly thinking of it in the back of the mind, then they have constantly creating bad stuff, right? So getting that out of there, cleaning that out, and putting the good stuff in is very important. Because this higher self supposedly has no judgment. So if you want hell, you got it. If you want heaven, you got it. All right, well, that's the dream sculpting plan. See Sandy, or you can talk to me about it if you want to. I'd love to see you there.